Greetings once again, pirates on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of One Piece, where, oh man, Egghead continue to be absolutely wild. The giant warrior pirates have made landfall and are absolutely wrecking marine vessels left, right, and center. Led by Dorian Brogy along with Oimo and Kashin, it's the reunion we've been long awaiting, and Usopp views all of this through binoculars, ready to meet his heroes and knowing they're here to help out, with Edison telling the group that what's going on Egghead is being advertised all across the world. So between the Giants and the Pacifista, now under the control of Bonnie, thanks to Vegapunk's override giving her the supreme authority, the marine vessels are not faring so well. Zoro and Lucci are still fighting, which has the internet all up in a tizzy, but I'm actually glad that Lucci is actually managing to hold his own for the most part. It's not like he's beating the heck out of Zoro, but we'll see. Bonnie, finally having been introduced to the man her dad has been waiting for all this time, refers to Luffy as Nika, which he's like, the heck is that? Luffy also insults Bonnie's attempt at a punch, which fell through because of her lack of belief. So Bonnie tells Luffy to show her how it's done, and he comes in on Saturn with a Gum Dawn Gatling, absolutely demolishing Saturn and yet again sending Saturn flying across the island, where Saturn comes face to face with the long-awaited Blackbeard pirate. Although I thought it would be Catarata Devon as well as Lafitte, but no, instead of Lafitte, it's Van Auger, which kind of explains the transportation, but they arrived by boat, so it's hard to say. Although we later see that Van Auger has some limitations when it comes to his ability. Oddly enough, it seems as though their mission was Saint Saturn himself, as Devon touches Saturn's leg, and depending on how close her ability is to Mr. Two Bon Clay's ability, one touch is all it takes in order to be able to duplicate someone's appearance, and normally you'd never get so close to one of the five elders to do so. But in an interesting conversation, where Saturn talks about the fact that he's surprised that level 6 prisoners would aid Teach, Devon claims that Teach is special, which Saturn refers to as Blackbeard's lineage. Could he be a buccaneer? Maybe the son of Roxy Zebek? Or something else entirely. Regardless, Devon and Augur say that the goal of the Blackbeard pirates, world domination, or to have the world, something that we know Zebek was also after. And so the two teleport out before Saturn can fully recover and attack them, where they come into contact with Caribou, who reveals that he is essentially the Bartolomeo of the Blackbeard pirates. And with all the information he holds about the ancient weapons specifically, there's big trouble on the horizon. Meanwhile, as Kizaru tries to attack the injured Vegapunk, Sanji manages to deflect it, showing off his mad hockey skills, which both Kizaru and Frankie say should be impossible. But come on. Sanji activates his Germa mode, which has his eyebrow swirl in the other direction, while Frankie and Atlas take Bonnie and Kuma out of there, leaving Sanji and Luffy to take on Kizaru. A 2-on-1? Yes please. But Vegapunk can't really move, as he feels as though, should he be moved, he may succumb to his injury. Will this be the final moments of Vegapunk? Despite things starting to look like they're going in our hero's favor, they may just end up losing a lot more than you would have guessed. What'll happen next? Join me as I find out. Won't you? Alright, and we have a nice little cover page, and I didn't realize what this was all about, why we just had all these female characters. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but the combination threw me off. I mean, Hancock is one thing, and Nami and Robin, but Tashigi, Reiju, and Uta? What? And it looks like they're drunk. It also has me wondering, is Reiju into, women? It's like all the Vince spokes have a specific preference. She might just be a flirt, you never know. And actually getting to see Nami and Uta actually just hang out? What could have been? And apparently this is because, this is for Heroine, which is a series of short story light novels for a lot of the female One Piece characters. I was really questioning why have these characters together on a cover page. Just figured maybe it was his whim or something, but checking it out in the Japanese version kind of reveals what's up. So very nice. Alright, let's jump into the chapter. One Piece, chapter 1108. Come in, world. So, an announcement to the masses? Interesting. Oh, this Caribou's, moment with the Blackbeard pirates isn't going as well as Bartolomeo, as we pick up with him screaming as Van Ogre holds him at gunpoint. Caribou's on his knees begging, saying, wait, don't shoot! Devon asks, who is this guy? And interestingly enough, Augur actually knows him, saying, that's wet-haired Caribou. Caribou says, you got it right. Just hold your fire, please. Augur says, he's a pirate, it's true, but this is a government island, and there are many who threaten the Commodore's life. Caribou says, no, sir, not me, please. You gotta trust me. If you kill me now, Master Teacher's gonna split your skull. Augur says, while cocking his gun, fascinating. And why is that? Caribou says, because I got some very valuable information you won't hear from anyone else. He thinks to himself that one of the ancient weapons named after gods, Poseidon, refers to the power of Shirahoshi, princess of Fishman Island, and that another one, Pluton, slumbers beneath the land of Wano. The only people in the entire world who knows both of these facts are the Straw Hat crew and little old me. He says, if you just let me meet with Master Teach, I'll happily provide that information to him. I'm sure he'll be very pleased to hear it, so take me with you. I know it'll be worth your time. It would be hilarious if they just shot him and left. Then again, we've been with Caribou for so damn long. To know that this is the payoff of him jumping on board ever since the return to Subodi. I mean, it's a hell of a payoff. Meanwhile, with the Marines still being blasted at by the Pacifista, announcement calls out to the ships, pull back from the shore! As the Marines shout, don't try to fight against the Pacifistas! As one of the ships fire against the Pacifista uses his bubble shield in order to block. Man, those bubble shields, great for defense and good against Devil Fruit users. Man, terrifying power of bubbles! The Marines say, no, the bubble shield! It's even more hilarious than when I said it. Not the bubbles! Why are we the ones who have to reckon with the power of the Navy Special Science Group? SSG, baby! One of the Pacifistas goes a-charging his laser. Oh, okay, now we get the names of some of the Vice Admirals. The old lady, Vice Admiral Bluegrass, who we already knew her name, says, there's nothing we can do here. Destroying them only sets the Navy back. What do we do? Let them sink us? The Admiral with the cool-looking hair and glasses is Vice Admiral Hound. So we have Doberman and Hound saying, is it possible to cancel the Buster Call? I don't think it's ever been done before. The Vice Admiral with the wicked hair and sunglasses is Vice Admiral Guillotine. He's got a big old beard, saying Vegapunk was the one who gave the pirate power over to the Pacifistas, wasn't he? There's no way he can call it off now. He's completely turned traitor against the government. He's guilty of treason. Another Marine calls out, our first course of action is to get the Pacifistas back under control. We then have Vice Admiral Doverman, who we know very well, shout out to all the ships, take out the pirate Jewelry Bonnie. All Vice Admirals, leave your post and eliminate Jewelry Bonnie. Okay, a lot of people were saying we were going to have some of the Straw Hats take on the Vice Admirals. This would be the time. She's fleeing from the Fabriophage in the city center towards the northeast coast. Kill Jewelry Bonnie now! Jeez. Yeah. See, there was a bit of a question as to why Vegapunk didn't let Bonnie know about this override ability outright. It's because it puts a massive target on her head. If you know who's controlling the Pacifistas, that's who you go after. And we see one Vice Admiral Tosa, go running in as he says, copy that, this is Tosa. I've got the target's rear position. Executing now. As he comes up following behind Frankie and Atlas, who are transporting Bonnie and Kuma, he hockeys up his hands and holds them out in a claw-like position, thinking to himself, these claws are 10-finger pistols that will chew through any armor. He jumps in towards Frankie and Bonnie, ready to use his Tosa Bite! Frankie notices him too late as he's right above him. As Frankie says, crap, it's an officer! Bonnie goes, huh? But suddenly a shadow looms over everyone as a giant axe either cuts through or just smacks into Tosa. Bonnie freaks out, saying, huh? What are giants doing? Oh, Frankie says, huh? What are giants doing on this island? New enemies? We're already in a hurry. Brogy, who smashed the Vice Admiral with his axe, says, yeah, Who are you? We brushed up on new members through their bounty posters, but I don't see any of them. Are you all researchers here? Dory says, we've come for the Straw Hat crew. Frankie says, ow! Luffy's my captain. You got beef with him? Brogy says, no beef, only gratitude. Dory says, we are warriors of Elbath. We'll happily protect any of their friends. Bonnie shouts, Luffy and Sanji and Vegapunk are still in the middle of the island. Will you help them? Brogy leans down saying, those are some familiar names. Of course we will. Yeah, they know Luffy and Sanji. Brogy says with a big old grin. Dory says, Vegapunk is the man that Scholar mentioned. That Scholar? Has Saul become a scholar in the meantime? Has he been doing research? Or is it possible that they've saved more than Saul? Regardless, Dory and Brogy get ready to head out towards the center, with Dory saying, take them to the ship. Let's hurry, the flames are really spreading. The other giants who are holding Frankie, Bonnie, Kuma while Atlas floats next to them say, sure thing, captains. Frankie says, so they're on our side. Are those the masters Usopp's always talking about? Okay. It's good to know that Usopp has spread the legend of Dory and Brogy. And it's also good to know that Frankie was actually listening. Then again, Frankie probably spends the most time with Usopp out of most characters. Oh, more of the Vice Admirals. The one with the weird teeth and the top hat he uses as a gun is Vice Admiral Urban that says, the lines are down. The Vice Admiral with the big old chin and the handlebar mustaches is Vice Admiral Pumpsky, who says either they got blasted or hit by giants. I'm going on to the island. Bluegrass tells everyone, I'll go by sea. Hop on, doll. Bluegrass hops on to one of the giraffe-like roboticized sea beasts and using her ride fruit ability is able to command it, taking her and Doll to shore, who's riding on the back. Doll says to Bluegrass the ship from Elbath is on the northeast coast. Bluegrass questions, the strength of giants is top-notch. You ever fought a giant? Doll says my superior officer was a giant over 20 years ago. Oh, and Bluegrass questions, was? You mean Saul? He was a strong one. A subordinate of Saul? Oh, the plot deepens even more. Okay, I wasn't sure how involved Doll was going to be, but knowing that Saul was her superior officer? There might be more to Doll than we know. I mean, I knew she wasn't a bad person. She was already helping out Tashigi and the kids, but that raises a lot of questions going forward. Meanwhile, with the giants who are transporting Frankie, Kuma, Bonnie, and Atlas, one of the giants carrying them says, where are your other friends? Frankie says, there's a lab on top of the clouds. They're up there. The giant questions, on a sky island? Frankie says, no, it's right over our heads. Meanwhile, Jesus. Oh my god, I'm looking at Saturn's eyes. He got the big old bug-eyed crazy eyes. Saturn comes marching over to where Sanji and Luffy are trying to help Vegapunk. Where's Kizaru in all this? Luffy tries to get to Vegapunk saying, we gotta get you out of here. You won't make it. Vegapunk says, ouch, ouch, moving me only speeds up the blood loss. Luffy says, don't you remember that we promised you we'd get you off this island? Vegapunk says, I know I asked for that, but now I've made up my mind. There is something here that I must protect. Luffy questions this, and Vegapunk through his wheezing says, I was hoping not to tell Bonnie about her special authority until she was more grown up. It'll be after her life, of course. Please, keep her safe. Sanji, who stands his ground against the incoming Saturn, says he's less and less human by the minute. His eyes look bizarre. And is he coated with poison or something? And we see one of Saturn's spider legs touch a tree and it instantly disintegrates. Oh god. So he wasn't even at full power before. Jeez. Jesus. Oh god. That is actually kind of terrifying. As Saturn's spider legs come racing in all over the place, trying to strike at everyone. Luffy easily manages to dodge as Sanji says, look out, Luffy, as Sanji grabs Vegapunk to get him out of the way. And Luffy goes, whoa, haha. Go ahead and take him away, Sanji. Ignore him if he shouts in pain. Vegapunk says, yo, stop. Enough, Sanji. Sanji says, I know, just sit tight. But suddenly he's kicked in the face by Kizaru, who, where the hell was he? Sanji drops Vegapunk, and as he looks on, he says, huh? No! As Kizaru then uses his light sword to pierce through Vegapunk. Sanji calls out to Vegapunk as Vegapunk hits the ground. Kizaru standing over him, and Kizaru ain't saying nothing now. Luffy calls out, Appleman! Just run around the back of the island, Sanji! Sanji picks up Vegapunk again and tries to get him out, saying, damn it, sorry about this, Vegapunk. But Kizaru is not gonna let him escape, turning into light to give chase. Oh, what the hell? Holy shit! Suddenly, Luffy's in his giant form, having grabbed Kizaru and holding back Saturn with his other hand. Jesus, what an intense look, goddamn. And as Luffy gives the most sinister of grins, he says, you guys aren't going anywhere. Ooh, and Luffy's like crushing Kizaru in his grip. Holy crap. While Luffy is literally going King Kong, Sanji is carrying Vegapunk, saying, damn it, hey Vegapunk, snap out of it. You're not dead yet, are you? Why are you smiling? Suddenly, back up in the labo phase, in Vegapunk's laboratory, a message turns on, with Vegapunk appearing saying, ahem, hello, check, is this thing on? Hello, out there, come in world, ahem. I am Dr. Vegapunk, a humble scientist. While many of you will likely be shocked by what I have to say in this message, I assure to you that it is the truth of this world. Ooh, spoilers. I mean, at the start of all this, Vegapunk, Shaka, told Dragon, I'm gonna die. I'm probably gonna die in like a little bit here. Vegapunk may very well actually die. Like, I mean, he was already kind of dying. That shot from Kizaru is just like, okay, I think he may definitely die now. So just like Clover, he's taken out more or less, which sucks. But I love the fact that Vegapunk set up so many things. But what information is he gonna put out there? Because there's only a few things I can think of that would shock the world, but you never know how much more information he had. Will it condemn the world government? And with that message going out, I mean, you can't kill off. There's only so many people you can kill off before people start to kind of take notice, you know? I wonder. I mean, it's gotta be something about the Void Century. Something about the ancient kingdom that the world government took down and took control. There's always the potential that people don't believe it. But Vegapunk has provided so much to the world. Why would people believe that, oh, he was actually a terrible person all along? I mean, this could really be the shake-up the world needs. We're going into the final arc. Well, final saga. And the Straw Hats will definitely escape with the Giant. And that's certain. And where else would they go but Elbaf? And Elbaf's one of the few places that the Marines don't really mess with. That's the only place I could see them going after all of this. I really am left wondering what's about to happen now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think Vegapunk's message is? And can Luffy hold off both Saturn and Kizaru? I mean, he literally seems to have them well in hand right now. But Kizaru wasn't a pushover when Luffy was going at him before. And Saturn seems to be getting more and more unhinged as time goes on. We'll just have to wait and see. So like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.